Coming to bed, honey? Coming to bed, honey?
I just don't know. I just don't know no more. It's like I work, go home, blink, then back at work again. My God. I could have sworn I was just here yesterday.
Does anybody else feel like their life is just passing them by because of their job in corporate America? And you try really hard to compartmentalize your life and your job, but you have anxiety. And so everything just meshes together. And you end every single day with 15 tasks that you didn't complete. So it just gets pushed to the next day, pushed to the next day. And you're just in this never ending cycle of feeling like you're behind and like you're not doing enough. I'm going insane.
I hate my job. I am literally crying at my desk 3 to 4 days out of the week. I feel guilty to speak about the fact that it's a great job, but no matter how good of a job it is not my purpose. It's not. And if you are a purpose-driven person with dreams and there's something that you want to do with your life, it does not matter where you sit if you know for sure that seat does not belong to you. And I am tired of crying at this desk. I'm tired of feeling anxiety. I'm tired of feeling like I'm so unhappy, And I was talking to my therapist the other day and she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, I want to teach women how to love themselves more. I want to show up for other moms and other women. I want to do monthly meetups. I want to do events. I want to travel. I want to, have this huge community that is growing, that's all about women showing up for themselves, and all the things, And she was like, so why don't you create a company? And I promise you, I started crying because I have a company. It's called Her Glow. And I've done the brunches and I've done the meetups, but Her Glow is not taking care of my bills. You know what I'm saying? And it can. I got to figure out what amount of money is going to help me leave my full-time job. And I'm tired of allowing fear to keep me stuck. I am deciding in this moment that I am going to be very shameless about plugging my dreams and my purpose and sharing it. And I am going to truly buy myself out of this misery. I owe that to myself. I owe it to the woman that I used to be. I owe it to the woman that I'm becoming. And I'm proud of myself already. And if you can relate to what I'm talking about, if you're at a job and you feel like, damn, I am not really living in my purpose, I'm hoping this is a sign for you to do what you know you're called to do, what God has placed on your heart. Because I'm telling you, when you get to the end of your life, you are going to have so much regret. You're going to feel like, damn, it was so many things I needed to do and I didn't do them.
All right, let's just stop right there. You know it's bad when someone's crying in therapy because chasing purpose feels like chasing rent with a broken leg. What we just watched isn't just some emotional monologue, it's the corporate struggle anthem of 2025. This is late-stage capitalism's version of spiritual warfare. Like, imagine being built for impact but chained to a swivel chair and a slack thread. Let's be clear. Working a job you hate isn't just annoying, it's medically risky. Studies from the past 6 to 8 years, like the 2019 report published in The Lancet, link chronic workplace stress to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and even premature death. The World Health Organization literally labeled burnout an occupational phenomenon. And this isn't just a Western problem. Globally, people are burning out trying to survive jobs that suck the soul out of them while barely paying enough for groceries and a tank of gas. And then there's the loneliness epidemic. According to research from Harvard and the American Psychological Association, long hours and job stress are directly contributing to isolation and breakdowns in marriages and friendships. People are in meetings more than they're in meaningful conversations. You're replying to emails faster than you reply to your own mom. Tragic. But here's the worst part. The shame. Society tells you to be grateful. At least you have a job. Bro, I'm grateful, but I'm also deteriorating at my desk, eating stale pretzels, wondering if this is how my obituary starts. And no, Karen, I don't want to join your office birthday Zoom. So yes, this woman sobbing over her purpose is actually the sanest person in the room. She's not quitting. She's waking up. And in 2025, when inflation's high, burnout is normal, and side hustles are survival, dreaming is not a luxury. It's rebellion.
You know? So hopefully this is your sign to keep going, because I am.
2 days ago, I had to quit my corporate job because my doctor said I was severely depressed. Story time. So around 7 months ago, I moved to New York City to work a corporate job. I graduated last May. I was excited. I was going to do content, work a corporate job, learn. So during my first day of work, glasses off for this one, my colleague literally says it's all downhill from here. I beg your pardon. Mind you, I'm taking over his work. Weeks go by, I'm noticing this is not good. I had like a performance review like a month and a half in. My manager's like, oh, you're not an expert yet. Me, who graduated 2 months ago. It would be these little comments dragging me down as someone who just started. So I go and seek counsel. I go to mentors, coworkers, HR. I'm like, is this okay? I'm showing them all the screenshots of everything that's happened. And they're like, this is very concerning. I've never seen anything like this. While this is happening, I'm working some crazy job hours for my job title. Me and my lead on a dock at 1 a.m. All of my habits started to alter. I was just deteriorating as a person. I got such bad brain fog. Appetite changed. I couldn't work out. Things got so bad that my parents literally drove 11 hours from North Carolina to New York City to come check on me. And my mom's like, this is the worst I've ever seen you. I started going to therapy for the job. And then it's like, okay, it's time to go to a doctor. And she diagnoses me with severe depression, prescribes medicine, all that. Child, I don't know if this is very Gen Z of me. Oh my God, she's not going to go through depression like all of us did. She's going to quit her job all because she's depressed. Yes. The work that I was given far exceeded my experience, expertise, everything. And literally the person who put me in my role told me that. And I've gone through lows in life, but I've never felt this way. Mind you, whole time throughout these past 7 months, I'm praying, I'm fasting. Lord, let it get better. Show me a sign. Every single time I did that, it got worse. I'm like, this is not from God. I've been posting on this app for 7 months, and I'm sure most of y'all did not know that, oh, she's going through depression. Because obviously when I'm employed, I can't talk about my employer. I really wanted to be a creator and a corporate girl. I don't want to let anyone down. It wasn't a situation of like, oh, I started making enough money with content, so I'm going to quit my job. With confidence, I can say that these past 7 months were the worst 7 months of my life. But there's just no way I was going to keep working there, fall deeper into depression, and God forbid, hit some type of breaking point for a JLB. Girl. And to help myself feel better, I already booked a flight.
If your corporate job gives you depression, brain fog, and forces your parents to drive 11 hours just to make sure you're alive, congrats. You've officially made it in America. Welcome to the rat race where the prize is mental illness. Let's talk facts. A 2021 Gallup study found that 76% of employees experience burnout on the job. The American Institute of Stress, yes, that's a real thing, notes that workplace stress is the leading cause of stress in adults and contributes to everything from insomnia to digestive problems. But sure, Susan, tell me again about corporate culture. And can we talk about the fake optimism? Like, we all signed up for these jobs thinking we'd find growth, mentorship, or at least decent coffee. Instead, we got Slack messages at 9:47 p.m., toxic managers gaslighting us about performance, and office chairs that give scoliosis. This girl was fasting and praying while being spiritually waterboarded by Microsoft Teams. It's wild. And the irony? When she finally quits, people act like she's the problem. No, sweetie. The problem is a system that thinks it's normal for 22-year-olds to have panic attacks over spreadsheets. And let's be honest, corporate jobs were never designed for creative souls. If your joy comes from impact, people, or purpose, the idea of spending your best years doing Q4 projections feels like death in slow motion. Her mistake wasn't quitting. It was trying to make the Matrix feel like home. So yes, quit the job, book the flight, heal your mind. Your boss can replace you in 2 days. Your body, you only get one.
This is going to piss so many people off, but can we just talk about how fucking tiring it is working in an office? People that work a physical, demanding job, just keep fucking scrolling because this is going to piss you off. But staring at a computer screen for over 8 hours a day, barely moving your body, looking at spreadsheets, talking to people non-stop, having to put on this customer service voice and just fucking pretend like you're this kind person to even the rudest fucking people ever. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And it's funny because you say to any like tradie, like after a day at work, how tired you are, and they're like, oh, but you do nothing. Like, I wish I had your job. Do you? Using your fucking brain is exhausting. Anyone that works in an office can relate. Like, it is fucking exhausting. I'm so tired. I'm mentally drained. I don't want to use my brain. And that's that. I said what I said.
The reason I quit my corporate job, honestly, was because I woke up one day and I was like yo, why am I suffering every single day for some stupid ass company that doesn't give a shit about me? And my definition of suffering in my job is like waking up every day feeling dread to go to work, to commute over an hour to the office when it's really not necessary, to be in the room and in meetings back to back from the moment I wake up with people that I just genuinely don't like and that really piss me off because they're annoying and they suck at their job. The corporate voice and the corporate bureaucracy is so real, and it gets even realer when you advance in your career. And I take it as being fake. Like, I just have to be fake all the time because I can't show up and tell people like, hey, you're wrong, or like, you know, let's try this other way because I know that it'll be better based on my experience. When you suggest something that's an improvement, it goes through like 3 to 10 conversations with people to try to convince people that it's the right way to do things. And it was just starting to kill my soul. And to me, suffering is really about not being able to be my authentic self every single day. I lost myself. I just went down the rabbit hole of trying to play the game in corporations, and all for what? For money, for health insurance. Like, there are other ways to get health insurance.
Something that isn't talked about enough is how quickly your health will decline once you start working for an office or once you work any corporate job where you're sitting all day. Because you're sitting for 8, 10, 12 plus hours a day. And yes, you get your lunch breaks, you get your little breaks in between, but that's if you take them. And especially if your salary, you're not having to clock in and out, so it kind of slips your mind when you're supposed to be taking your breaks. And I remember when I was a supervisor, I would constantly have to tell my team members that were salary to go take their breaks, to step away, to stop eating at their desk, to go for a walk, because it's just not healthy to just sit there and do everything at your desk, never stand up, never go for a walk, or even just step away from your screen. And a lot of companies focus their reward system around food instead of giving you a raise. So they're giving you the pizza parties and the food trucks. But that's not great for us. We're constantly eating, sitting. And if we're not stepping outside and making the time to go for a walk or even do like a stand desk or something like that, and a lot of companies don't even provide the stand desks, okay, because they don't see it's necessary. It's more of an option, right? So our health just starts to decline. You start to gain weight, all kinds of stress issues, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, because you're eating out, all this stuff, right? So our health really starts to decline. So this is basically my reminder to you to go check on your health, make time for those doctor's appointments, because your health comes first.
I just realized it doesn't matter how early I go to sleep. I just don't want to go to work. I could have gone to bed at 8 p.m., did yoga, drank tea, had my soul cleansed by a monk. It doesn't matter. When that alarm hits, I'm still waking up like I just got hit by a tranquilizer dart. I suddenly never felt so tired in my life. And I'm not tired. I'm rebelling. This isn't fatigue. This is a protest against responsibility. Okay, people are like, oh, you just need a better morning routine. Okay, what will that routine do? Erase my job? Will it make Karen from accounting stop asking quick questions that are never quick? It's not about getting enough sleep. It's about being spiritually opposed to employment. I wasn't made for this. I wasn't built to log onto Microsoft Teams and pretend I care. Okay, I was built to live. Maybe chop wood, I don't know, something simple and primal. People be like, just find the job you love. Okay, I love not working. Hire me for that. Anyway, shout out to everyone clocking in today. Not because we want to, but because rent exists.
And I never understood the people that make work their whole life, like their whole identity. Like, you putting in all this work and you still struggling? Hell no. Stop overworking and getting underpaid. Because best believe if something was to happen to you, you would be replaced the next business day, baby. Out of there. They will have interviews already lined up for your position. Y'all still stand after work an hour, 2 hours to make sure y'all look good for y'all boss or look like the star employee just to get a 15-cent raise at the end of the year? Yeah, I think the fuck not. Put that PTO in, take them vacation days, and give yourself a break. Stop letting them jobs stress y'all out.
You know what's a wild thing to think about when you say it out loud? The fact that majority of people have to get up every day for 5 days a week, be at a place that they most likely don't want to be at for 8 hours a day or possibly longer, where they have to deal with difficult people, customers, clients, coworkers, bosses, to receive a paycheck that barely allows them to scrape by in life. And they have to do that for 65 years. They get 2 days off. One of those days you can relax, while the other one you have to take care of all the things that you need to do, while you're simultaneously worrying about going back the next week. And while you're doing that, you're sacrificing your time, the most valuable thing that you have, where you can invest that in hanging out with your loved ones, where if something were to happen to them, they're never coming back. You can travel the world while you're healthy. You can try new things. But instead, you have to sacrifice that time. While there are other people, like Alex Eubank and many more, that simply post a video, make millions from it, and they've escaped the matrix, but you haven't.
After watching all these stories, if you still think the 9-to-5 grind is the pinnacle of human achievement, I want whatever vitamins you're taking. Let's call this what it is: slow motion self-destruction with a direct deposit. We are the most overworked, overstimulated, and under-rested generation in modern history. And before you argue that this is just part of adulting, consider this. The CDC reports that 1 in 3 Americans aren't getting enough sleep, largely due to work-related stress. The Journal of Occupational Health Psychology also links job stress to increased mortality, while a 2023 study from the University of Melbourne found a clear correlation between work dissatisfaction and chronic illness over time. Translation: the job is killing you. People aren't lazy, they're sick. Sick of commutes that drain joy, sick of performing happiness in front of their boss, sick of smiling through Teams meetings while slowly turning into a corporate hologram. And no, a better morning routine won't fix it. If drinking matcha and journaling could cure systemic burnout, we'd all be healed monks by now. But here's the value add. You don't need to jump ship without a life raft. Build your exit. Start small. Monetize your skills, not just your time. Test the waters of entrepreneurship. Use your weekends to work on something that actually belongs to you. Because one day you'll look back and realize you traded years of potential for office pizza parties and free lanyards. Life is not a productivity report. And in 2025, clocking in without purpose is spiritual malpractice. If this video pissed you off, good. That means you're awake. Now go do something about it.